So 6 people's eyes suddenly open in a spaceship, and none of them remembers who they are and how they came in this spaceship. And later, when they get to know about themselves, they find out that apart from one of the 6 members, all the other big criminals are there, and the space police of 7 countries are behind them. Now what did they do in the past? We will get to know about all this in this series. So at the beginning of the story, a man wakes up in a spaceship with a lot of confusion, and he did not remember his name, and he also did not remember how he came in that spaceship. There was another girl in the same spaceship with whom the same scenario was that she was just woken up, and she also did not remember how she came in that spaceship. She understands by looking at the previous man that he has brought her there, and that's why she starts fighting him, and later that man explains to her that she herself does not remember who left her there. Now these 2 were not only at that place, a man also brings guns at that place, who took both of them at gunpoint, and he also felt that these 2 have brought him here. After that, apart from that man, an Asian man, a beautiful girl and a black-skinned man are shown in the spaceship, and the same scenario happens with all of them, that they did not know about their names and they did not know about their work. Now if they had paid more attention to what their work is and how they came here, then they would have been killed for sure, because the condition of the spaceship was bad and the spaceship collided with a meteorite before waking up from their cryosleep, and maybe this was the reason that their sleep was released from cryosleep. Now as they did not remember their names, so they decide to call each other according to the number of their waking up. That is, the one who woke up on the first number, his name is 1, the one who woke up on the second number, his name is 2. Those 6 of them started roaming in the spaceship. While roaming in the spaceship, they get a lot of weapons, and now they start exploring the spaceship more. After reaching the training room, the port number suddenly finds out that he knows how to drive a sword very well, which he also shows to the number 1, which means that they have forgotten about their past and their body remembered about their past. The 3rd number had now gone towards the basement area, where he meets another woman sleeping in cryosleep. But as soon as he tries to open his port, he attacks the 3rd number very badly, and somehow number 3 had taken care of that woman with the help of number 2, and later he finds out that the woman was actually an android who was kept for a long time, and after coming to his senses completely, he starts correcting the defects in the spaceship, and later when the crew members try to find out about their past from him, then that android also does not know anything about them, and because if they did not have any information from their spaceship robot, then it was clear that someone has deliberately erased all their data, and maybe he wanted to kill them, and this was really very strange. On the other hand, we see number 5, who suddenly finds out while working that he has a lot of medical knowledge, and it was possible that he was working as a medical member in this. Meanwhile, the androids get signals that another spaceship has come in the area near their spaceship because it starts firing missiles towards their spaceship. At that time, everyone's life was in danger, and they somehow saved their lives by running through the hyperspace portal, for now they had just gone, but they were not able to understand who and why had attacked them. Then the android somehow recovers some old data, and they find out that before going to cryosleep, they were going towards a mining colony, which is present on a nearby planet, but for now no one knew what to do by going there. Now whatever the matter is, it is very important to sleep. Everyone goes to sleep now, and while sleeping number 5 sees a big steel door in his dream. While number 3 had not slept and he was still exploring the spaceship, he also sees a big locker rotating in the spaceship, which he is unable to open, so he also fires a gun at him. But because of ricochet, his bullets hit him only. While number 1, when he goes to sleep in his room, he gets a locket there, which was very cheap, and now number 1 did not remember why he would have kept it there. The next day we see that they reached the planet where they wanted to go. As soon as they went there, the miners of the mining colony welcomed them at the gunpoint, because they felt that maybe they have come to attack them, and then number 1 somehow talks to them and explains to them that they are normal astronauts, they have come there in search of help. That's why the boss there feeds them and also tells them about an organization called Periscorp, which had found a lot of minerals on their planet's asteroid belt, and that's why they wanted to kill all the people present here and get the minerals of the planet completely. And for this, the Paris Corporation made a team, which was going to come soon to kill them. During that time, number 1's eyes fall on a boy who also had exactly the same locket plan as he had found in his room. Then when he talks to that girl, he finds out that that locket is actually with those people who come to help them. That means that maybe all the people we saw in the planet are normal astronauts. And now, after going back in the spaceship, number 1 tells everyone about it, and everyone decides that they will help the people of this planet. And after a while we see that when number 5 and number 2 are sitting together, then number 5 tells number 2 that for a few days he was getting strange visions in which he was seeing himself in a kingdom, where while playing on the beach, she goes to her dad's room and some people were killing her dad, at the same place her stepmom was also standing. But the strangest thing was that the visions that were coming to number 5 here were not his visions. At present time they also had a shortage of money, so number 2 decides that he will give half of the weapons present to the people of the colony, and the rest he will keep with him so that he can earn money by selling them. For now, these people were also discussing about how they will help the colony miners, but in the meantime, an android robot comes there because it tells them that it has recovered some more data and it has come to know that leaving number 5. All the other people who were on the ship were all murderers and killers. Now this was really very shocking, and the most shocking thing was that they were not sent to help the miners at that place but to take their lives, and their ship's name was Raza. After knowing this, everyone lost their minds and no one wanted to believe that before going to the memories, they used to kill people for no reason. Even now number 5 was also in a bad condition because he was not understanding that if he is not a part of the crew of these people, then how did he come on this spaceship? It was possible that these people had kidnapped him too, so he started getting very scared. So everyone somehow takes care of him, and undoubtedly he came to know that he was sent to kill those colonists, but they did not want to kill him. So now they decide that they will help those colonists in any case. Even so far, the organization had also understood that now the people of Raja spaceship will not kill those colonists. So they had sent many more soldiers so that the colonists could be killed. As soon as number 1 finds out about this, he goes to those colonists where a lot of soldiers had come so far, and they had taken the people of the colony at gunpoint. Although there were also some people of the colony who had kept those soldiers at gunpoint, and their number 1 starts attacking number 6 on those soldiers with whom the fight had now started. The atmosphere there was very hot, and only the sound of gun was being heard. By the way, number 1 and number 6 kill a lot of soldiers together, and so far the people of the colony had also killed a lot of soldiers. Somehow all the soldiers were finished there, but the colonists were also very much injured, and number 1 had confirmation about this that soon more soldiers will come at that place who will attack the people of the colony again. For now, the situation was that either the people of the colony could have been left to die by saving their lives, or they could have been killed and fought with those soldiers with whom it was difficult to win. But somewhere there were chances that all those people would kill the soldier again. And this is also known to the leader of the soldiers that leaving number 5, the rest of the people who were on the Raza ship were really very dangerous. That's why he goes to know 2 and offers him a lot of money so that they leave the people of the colony and go from there, and do not help the people of the colony. But 6 clearly refuses to take his money because now she also wanted to walk on the path of goodness. That's why the leader of the soldiers started going back, and 6 decided that he would follow his leader's ship so that he could find out about his recent fear, and they went directly there and captured them so that the people of the colony would be completely safe. But as soon as he goes on a spaceship in the colony, some people of the colony who had decided to support the leader of the soldier, they catch him. The leader of the soldier had also given greed to those people that if they help him, he will make them rich. On the other hand, no. 4. Number 1 and Number 3 were still present in the village, who suddenly find out about the arrival of 2 ships at that place, whose target was also the same, that the people of the colony have to be killed. Now again a very dangerous fight begins, in which Number 1, Number 4 and No. 3 were fighting very well. And along with that, they were killing a lot of soldiers. They were successful in killing such soldiers this time as well. But during that time, the chief of the colony's life was lost. They are very sad about this, and at the same time, the soldier comes to that place again and takes all those people at gunpoint. But no. 2 reaches the ship of the leader of the soldiers with Number 5 and directly warns them that if they don't leave the people of the colony alive now, then they will fire all the dangerous weapons on the king's ship towards their ship. And if this really happened, then there was not even a 1% chance of their survival. Because the king's ship itself was a very dangerous ship. Now the leader of the soldiers has no other way, and he calls all his soldiers back. Even he had signed an agreement of 89 years with No. 2 that he would not bother the people of the colony for 89 years. And because of this act of Number 2, all the crew members like him very much. And on the one hand, he had become the leader of all those people because somewhere he had a lot of wisdom, and he knew what to do in which situation. And at the behest of Number 2, they decide to go to a post-gas station, where they were going to earn money by selling some things and were also going to try to know about their post. But on the way, Number 5 was getting strange dreams again and again, seeing which he feels that maybe all those things can be the memories of the rest of the crew members, which were present in him. Even for now, we also see No. 3, who was trying to open that door again, which he got that night. Then the next day when No. 5 is roaming in the spaceship, he finds a dead body of a boy in the ventilation pipe, which may have been killed by a crew member before, but because none of them remembered anything, so No. 2 decides to send that body into space. Then Number 5 tells everyone that she suddenly felt that she would definitely get something in the ventilation pipe, so she went to the ventilation pipe, which made everyone understand that all their memories were in No. 5's mind, and Number 5 could not access them at will. Or say that she remembered everything, and neither could she recall it nor could she tell anyone. Well, for now, due to the sudden disruption in hyperspace, her spaceship gets stuck in an extremely gamma radiation zone, which if it was not removed from there in 3 hours, then the gamma rays would have entered the spaceship and everyone would have died. None of those 6 out of 6 people were able to understand who must have put the coordinates of this place in their spaceship, and that is why now they stopped trusting each other, because it could have been possible that he had deliberately brought them there, and he wanted to kill them. That's why they also confine each other, but then somehow No. 2 calms them down, and the android robot decides that she will go out and fix the ship's shield system so that they can survive and the spaceship can also be taken out of that place. The android went out and somehow fixed everything in a little while, which makes everyone very happy. But when the android comes back in the spaceship, due to the short circuit, it gets shut down halfway. That road was still quite low, and there was a lot of danger in going down because the gamma radiation was still present in that place. Now Number 6 and No. 1 decide that they will take the risk of their life and save the android's life because android was very important for their spaceship. They had somehow brought the android up from the bottom, and as soon as it comes back, SIX's condition gets a little bad and he immediately faints. Android was also not completely cured yet, and when everyone feels that now no one from Android and 6 will survive, then the android stands up again and saves Six's life by giving shock. After which everyone was happy and left the hyperspace again, and started going towards their destination. And in the meantime, we see a man named James Corso who goes to a space station and tries to investigate about the spaceship because he wanted to catch his members. The spaceship also reached the space station soon, and our heroes still had a lot of money. That's why they decide that they will first sell their weapons at the shop of that space station, and also sell those valuable things they have with which they can earn money. Now the work of finding the buyer for the weapon is given to number 2, no. 1 and number 3, and after that we also see the rest of the people who started looking for the valuable things they had so that they can also sell them and earn more money. During that time, no. 4 sees a very valuable ring with him about which he did not even remember how that ring came to him. That's why he takes that ring and goes to a jeweler at the space station and talks about selling it, but as soon as the jeweler sees his ring, well, he gets very scared and starts refusing to buy that ring out of fear. While no. 3 and number 1 went to a bartender, and while talking to him, they talk about finding a weapon buyer. That bartender also agrees for this thing and soon tells them about a weapon buyer who was waiting for them in the room inside. But as soon as number 1 and number 3 enter that room, Casso, present there, starts killing them and then unconsciously ties them to a chair. About this, number 6, number 5 and no. 2 did not know anything, and we see that number 5 and number 2 go to a casino so that they can make money by playing a little gambling there. They had invested their remaining money in that casino, and with the help of number 5's skill, they had won a lot of money. And the casino people start feeling that they have cheated in the game, so they throw them out of the casino. At the same time, we see James Corso, whose face was looking exactly like number 1 for now, and he knew that there were a lot of weapons on number 1's ship, and he wanted him to steal those weapons. So now he leaves number 1 and number 3 tied up and goes to their ship and steals weapons from there. Corso got a lot of money by selling those weapons. Next we see number 6, who had burn marks due to gamma radiation, and that's why he came to a doctor at the space station. And as soon as he goes to meet the doctor searches for a few things about him on the computer, and as soon as the doctor finds out that number 6 is a very dangerous criminal, he immediately tries to inject him with anesthesia, and the way he talks to the doctor, the way he moves and the way he acts, he understands that something is going to go wrong here. That's why he goes back to the ship without getting his treatment. Number 4 had also returned to his ship, and no one understands why number 1 and no. 3 have not returned yet, and without them he could not even leave with his ship. Where Corso had kept number 1 and no. 3, both of them also come to their senses there, and somehow they come back to the ship while freeing themselves. And when number 2 sells weapons from him and asks him about the money, no. 1 does not tell him the truth and just lies to him that when those people went out, some cunning thieves stole those weapons from them and did not even give them money. Now number 1 did this because he understood that after Corso's past, he definitely knows something about it, and that's why he wanted to be confirmed about these things first. 3rd also understands this, and he also supports number 1, so that no one in the whole team has any doubt on him. But the whole team was very upset because they didn't even have a bag to spend everything, and soon their supplies were going to run out. Even no one knew what their past was, and they wanted to find out about it as soon as possible. Then at one time we see number 4 because he can see the news of his father's death in the news, whose murderer was being told to him. And after seeing this thing, number 4 understood that he can do such a good swordplay because he is the prince of the Ishido Empire. And he didn't understand why he would have killed his father, and how he would have escaped from there. But no matter what, in the eyes of the world, Ishido's murder was not done by anyone else but by his son number 4. Then fourth goes into this and tells everyone else. During that time, they were also discussing about money, that they don't have money. But then suddenly a man contacts them and gives them a job that they have to pick up a sample from a cargo ship. In return, he was going to give them a lot of money. Number 2 does not know what is in that cargo ship for which that man is sending them to the cargo ship. But for now, they agree to do this job because of money. Fifth and android both stop in the spaceship and the rest of them go inside that cargo ship. As soon as they go inside, they see the corpses of many people whose bodies were completely torn. And no one could understand how they would have been killed. And then a zombie attacks number 2 and bites his neck. No one could understand what had happened inside the ship that made the people here zombies. For now, number 6 kills that zombie, and then number 2 is taken into the spaceship and quarantined, so that he also does not attack his own team while becoming a zombie in the future. Number 6 and number 4 had brought number 2 into the spaceship, because of which all 4 of them start sitting there and talking. On the other hand, we see number 1 and number 3, who were trying to find that sample, which had to take them out. Now we see Android again, who found out with the help of Second's DNA that the virus was actually being made for immortality. And later it turned into a zombie virus, and all the people in the cargo ship were infected with that virus. Suddenly a lot of zombies attack them, and they start shooting blind bullets at them. They had killed all the zombies and their bullets had hit the life support system there, because of which the oxygen in that cargo ship starts to decrease. Even their communication systems were not working, because of which they could not even send a signal in their spaceship that soon their ram is going to be true. And because of not going to their team for a long time, they also understood that number 1 and number 3 are definitely in some trouble. And that's why number 6 takes the Marauder ship to the cargo ship so that he can contact number 1 and number 3 and call them to the Marauder ship first. And then the Marauder ship can be brought to the Raja ship. And this is exactly what happens. When number 6 goes to the cargo ship with the Marauder ship, he asks number 1 and number 3 to come to the airlock system. And they also come to the airlock system by shooting blind bullets at the zombies on the way. After which number 6 came back to the spaceship with number 1 and number 3. It had been many hours by then, but zombie virus still has no effect on number 2. That's why he is taken out of quarantine. After going to his room, when number 2 removes the bandage on his neck, there was no sign of zombie bite there. His skin had healed completely, and number 2 did not understand the reason for it. After number 2 came out, everyone understood that no matter what happens, they can't take the zombie virus sample out of the cargo ship. That's why they blow up the whole sample along with the ship. In the same way, a few more days pass and at one point, Android and number 5 find such a technology, with the help of which they could access some memories in number 5's mind. And because all the crew members' memories were in number 5's brain, that's why he decides that he will use this technology so that he can access some people's memories and tell them. Then when the technology is used, number 5 first sees the memories of number 4, in which she was imagining herself instead of number 4. During that time, we see that number 4 used to live very well with his stepbrother and number 4 was perfect in almost everything. Even his dad wanted number 4 to become the king of his kingdom in the future, and he used to appreciate him a lot. And where on the one hand he used to appreciate number 4, on the other hand, he used to shout at him a lot because of his second son's useless attempts, and he had decided that he would throw him out of his kingdom. And that's the only thing number 4's stepmother didn't like, and she had killed the king along with some people. While these things were happening, number 4 had also seen and the queen's people were after him to kill him too. And somehow number 4 managed to escape from there. After that, number 5 directly sees in her memories where she used to work with some thieves. She had stolen a very dangerous device at one time and many more people were after her. That's why number 4 came to this spaceship to escape with her companion and hid. And this was the reason that when she opened her eyes, she found herself in this spaceship later. And the boy whose dead body they had found earlier, that boy was actually the same boy with whom number 5 had also come to this place. And during that time we also know that whatever number 2 had stolen, only because of that thing, his entire gang was killed. And later she was finding out about those people who had killed her gang. Number 5 gets very emotional after seeing those things and she gets stuck in her memories. Then we see number 6 in real life, who had decided that as soon as he will remove number 5 from his memories, so that the condition of number 5 can be stabilized. That's why he also connects that machine to his body. And later we can also see his past. That actually he used to work for a very good organization before, and he was a very dangerous agent. And one day his companions trap him in a terrorist attack, in which many innocent people died in the terrorist attack. This thing was going to be very embarrassing for number 6, and the space police all over the world were after him so that they can kill him. Because of this, number 6 was also angry and he killed all those people one by one, who were also included in that terrorist organization. After seeing all these things, number 6 gets very angry and he decides to finish his work as soon as possible. He went to the memories of number 5, where number 5 was living with his parents, and he didn't feel like getting out of there. But at that time, number 6 explains to him that all these things are not real and if she keeps doing this, then maybe she will lose her life in real life. Now number 5 also understands this and gets up with number 6 in real life. Now as soon as he got up, number 5 told number 4 that number 4 did not kill his father. It was his stepmom who killed him. And number 5 did this because she knew that number 4 was in a lot of guilt because of this, and that's why he is still very sad. By now, number 5 had also found out the lock of that door, which number 3 had found. It is actually a storage room in which they get a lot of valuable items and packages. And when they open those packages, they get a woman's dead body, an entertainment robot Wendy and a girl named Sarah who was in Cairo's sleep. And when Sarah is woken up from Cairo's sleep, she hugs number 3 as soon as she sees him and calls him by the name of Marcus. But we get to know from Sarah's words that number 3 had found him on his planet at a time when he was injured and there he came in search of some minerals that he never found. Then Sarah took care of Marcus for many days and Marcus never tried to find those minerals because brother had forgotten his mission and got stuck in taking care of Sarah. And one day Sarah got very ill, after which Marcus put her in a sleep pod so that when her disease was treated, she could be taken out of the sleep pod later. Let's see the new robot, which was actually an enemy robot, and a man named Sam specially designed it to kill the team member of Raja. And Sam did all this because at one time the people of Raja killed his companions. For now, Bandy makes everyone unconscious and locks them in a room, but number 4 and number 5 were still left outside. Bandy had hacked the control system of the spaceship and had sent it to the sun through hyperspace, which was about to crash into the sun soon. And if this had happened, all of his members would have been killed along with Raja's ship. Then number 5 quickly tries to hack the computer of the spaceship so that it can bypass the firewall of Bandy and take the spaceship under its control again. But Bandy's system was so strong that number 5 could not do this. But somehow, with the help of hacking, number 5 opened all the doors, which frees all the team members. And later they start fighting Bandy one by one. And there comes a time when Bandy was about to kill number 3. But then number 4 attacks Bandy with the help of his katana and he gets stuck there. In the meantime, Android had also woken up and at the last moment, they take the spaceship away from the sun, which saves their lives. And now the biggest sad thing for number 3 was that during the current fight, he did not pay any attention to Sarah and died due to Sarah's suffocation. And because of this, number 3 was feeling very bad. But since he does not remember much of his past, he becomes normal in a short time and everyone starts going to a space station so that they can enjoy a little and buy their supplies. After going to the space station, everyone was enjoying, but number 6, who remembered everything about himself, he goes to a bar and tries to find out about a gang leader so that he can kill that gang leader. And as soon as the gang member finds out about all this, that this guy wants to kill their leader, then they kill him. After which, number 6's eyes suddenly open in a pod and he comes out of it. Now we know that the number 6 we have seen so far was not the real number 6, but it had a clone and the gang members had just killed that clone. And the number 6 whose eyes had opened in the pod was the real body of number 6, and he was trying to find something with the help of a clone. That means whatever was happening so far, it was all real. But the number 6 who was present with the Raza team member was a clone, and maybe that's why he was considered to put his life at stake in every situation, and the consciousness of the real number 6 was put in that clone so that the real number 6 who wants to find it can get it with the help of a clone. Because even if the clone was killed, number 6 could have made it again, and there were no signs of injury on his real body. And even now it happens exactly the same. With the help of the scientists present in the lab, number 6 makes his clone again, and again reaches the same planet where his previous clone was killed. At the same time, we can see the rest of the team members who get to know a very dangerous news about number 6, that he was part of the Galactic Authorities rebellion group, and during that time he had also carried out such a terrorist attack in which 10,000 innocent people were killed. To know about this, the 1st and 4th go to the transit office from there, which was actually the same place where the clones were made and sent to different places. During that time, we also find out that the 1st and the rest of the people had also made their own clones, and all those people were actually in a sleeping pod. But number 1 also notices that the face of his clone is very different from his real body. His real reality was of Derek Moss, who was actually a very big billionaire, but for some reason he decided to come to this transit state, and he started running away from his real life. But since number 1 and the rest of the people had lost all their memories, they did not know what they had come here to do. On the other hand, we can see number 6, who again goes to those billionaires and does a surprise attack on them this time, asks them for their general's address and goes to that planet, and also kills their general. And actually that general was also a clone, and he was the same guy who had trapped number 6 in that terrorist attack. After that, when everyone comes back to the Graza ship, number 1 starts doing more research about number 3, which tells him that number 3 had actually killed Derek Moss's wife, and maybe number 1 would have come to the Graza ship to take revenge for the same. And maybe this is the reason that when number 1 came here, he changed his face so that number 3 could not recognize him, and number 3 must have come here so that he could escape from Derek Moss, because it is obvious that whoever has money can do anything in the world. At the same time, number 4 has to sit in his room, where today he talks to his brother Hero, who had now become the king of his empire in his place. After seeing that, number 4 does not like it at all, and he also knew that this boy's mother had killed his father, so he decides to kill Hero. He had not told anything to his team about this, and he had gone straight to his empire. Hero also had some idea about this, that number 4 is coming to kill him, and that's why he tells his emperor to catch number 4 and bring him. And this emperor was unfortunately the same person who had taught number 4 and his brother Hero a lot of other things about fighting in his childhood. That means number 4 used to see him somewhere as his father figure, and it was not going to be so easy for him to fight him. Now number 4 had reached his empire, and there he fights a lot of soldiers who had come with the same commander who was sent by Hero. First they tell number 4 to surrender, but number 4 was not going to surrender so soon. He had become a kind of rebel who breaks on his own army, and one by one he starts killing everyone. Everyone else had also come to know about the death of number 4, and then number 2 decides to go and help him because this team had become his family in a way. They quickly reached the location of number 4 with the entire Raza team, where number 4 was still fighting with everyone, including the commander who was sent by Hero. Then number 4 also finds out that his brother Hero does not even know that his father's life was taken by Hero's mother. After knowing this, number 4 also regrets that he had come here to kill his brother. Well, for now, the rest of the Raza team had decided to help number 4, and he was killing everyone. Meanwhile, number 1 also gets the chance to kill number 3 and avenge his wife's death, but he does not do so because he knew that number 3 had also saved his life many times, and no matter what the scenario was. But his family team was Raza. So far, number 4 has also come to know about this, that he had come to kill Hero for no reason. So he makes a plan to go back, and now he just kills the commander with his life, after which he also tells the truth to Hero. After knowing about this, Hero was completely broken, and he goes to his mother, and gets very angry because he knew that his mother had done all this to make him a king. On the other hand, when everyone in the Raza ship is with number 4, they tell him that if he needs help in anything in the future, then he should go with everyone, not alone, because all these people are also his family, who will support him at every step. After this, when his spaceship was roaming in space with pleasure, then suddenly a lot of spaceships come there and their spaceships are surrounded. None of the Raza team members could understand why they were surrounded. Then suddenly Commander Truffaut comes inside the ship, who used to work for the Paris Corporation, and she wanted to give a mission to Team Raza. In the beginning, by doing the mission of Truffaut, she makes number 2 clean, and later when she is threatened to kill them, then they agree to do this mission. In this mission, there were also 4 agents of Truffaut with them, whose names were Wexler, Tess, Bones, and Kane. Wexler was the leader of his other team members, and this mission was going to be completed with his help. After leaving Truffaut's place, Wexler tells everyone that in fact they have to go to a minority colony and steal the device from a lab, which was very important for the Paris Corporation. Then everyone else agrees to steal the device, and after making the whole plan, when number 2 was going to sleep at night, then Wexler comes to him and starts teasing him, and he wanted number 2 to stay with him for a night. But number 2 doesn't like this, and she teases Wexler so much that Wexler's hand breaks. At the time, it was all Wexler's fault, and he couldn't even tell anyone about it, so he is calm for now. But because he couldn't go on that mission now, he decides to go to number 5 instead of Wexler, because all the work that Wexler used to do, all the work used to come to number 5. The Raza team also did this mission with all their strength and intelligence, like every mission, so that this mission ends soon and they come back on the Raza ship with that device. But at that place, Wexler is waiting for them because he was in the mood to take revenge from number 2. He had shut down the android for now and took the entire command of Raza under him, on whose strength he starts putting the entire Raza team in the storage room. But then he was attacked by number 2. Vaxner had locked everyone else in the storage room, and after the death of number 2, everyone was very sad. No one could understand how they would stop Vaxner, and how they would free themselves. And then suddenly they hear someone screaming, which suddenly calmed down, and it seemed that someone had forcibly picked up someone and thrown them in space. But then we see in the airlock where number 2 somehow came back and frozen ice was melting on her body. After the ice melts, she kills all the soldiers present there one by one, and also kills the entire team of Vaxner. But after reaching Vaxner, she first knows about the lock of the storage room by threatening Vaxner, and then she throws Vaxner in space in the same way as Vaxner had thrown him a while ago. But Vaxner was not going to be alive like him. Number 2 had now freed everyone, but no one could understand how she survived even after going into open space. Because no human can breathe in a vacuum, and if any human goes into a vacuum, his whole body freezes. But by then the android tracker of the spaceship had come there, and she had also recovered a lot of memories. With the help of which she finds out that number 2 is actually an illegally modified human, because of which she can do a lot of things that normal humans cannot do. If we talk in simple words, then either she was a cyborg or a mutant. Even the person who made her was still looking for number 2. And to save herself, no. 2 attacked her lab and joined the Razor team. After remembering all this, number 2 was quite shocked. But for now, the device that they had stolen, they go to a lab of Ferris Corporation to deliver it. And as soon as they come out of that place, after a while we see that there is a little turbulence in that device, and after that the whole planet is destroyed. There was also news about this in the news, and it was said that the whole planet was destroyed due to a vital device. And all these actions were done by the organization of Tufo so that it could finish its competitors. It was clear that Tufo was not from Ferris Corporation, and it had deceived the whole team of Raza so that it could finish its competitors with their help. When Team Raza finds out about this, they are very sad. And they were most saddened by the fact that 15,000 innocent people were killed during this explosion. And that's why they had decided that they would now finish the whole organization of Tufo. They find out about its lab, and they also find out where is the main headquarters of Tufo. After which they went straight to that planet, and they had made up their mind to attack the lab. But as soon as they go inside, a lot of armed guards catch them, with whom there was also a man named Alex, and he was the creator of number 2. He calls him by the name of Drebika and makes him unconscious. And then we understand that in fact, the destruction of that planet was part of a plan that could bring Drebika back to this planet. And because Alex did not have any connection with any other member of Raza's ship, so he sends them back to Raza's ship and sends them out of there. Alex had modified Raza's ship in such a way that no member of Raza's ship could stop the ship before it came out of the planet. And it was clear that number 1, number 3, no. 4 and number 6 could not save number 2. But then suddenly an idea comes to no. 1 and number 3's mind, and they leave Android on that planet before the gate of the ship closes. That means that now the full responsibility of saving no. 2 was on Android. At the same time, when we see number 2, when his eyes open, he remembers that he had killed a lot of doctors and scientists to escape from this hell last time. Because they used to make him do things that he did not want to do. Alex had actually modified him so that he could kill his competitors and his enemies. And during his every mission, a lot of innocent people were also killed. That's why number 2 attacked everyone at one time and ran away from there. Alex wanted to do the same with the help of no. 2, so he decides to wipe his memory. In this process, he is about to succeed, when suddenly Android reaches below and cuts the power of that machine, which was going to wipe out the memories of number 2. No. 2 was also saved now, and he had started attacking everyone like before so that he could run away from there. In this, Android also helps him, and they kill all the soldiers present there and come out of there. Then after going a little far, no. 6 picks them up and they reach the spaceship again. Everyone was very happy to come back to number 2. And on the other hand, when Alex finds out that he has run away from no. 2 lab again, he goes to a room in sadness, where an old man was lying in a coma. He was on some kind of high-tech life support system, and when he finds out about no. 2's escape, he tells Alex directly in anger that he should kill the whole team. Everyone was very happy in the spaceship, and they didn't know anything about Alex. Then at night when everyone goes to sleep, no. 5 gets a dream from which he finds out that he had erased everyone's memories in the spaceship. Because at that time number 2 and no. 4 were going to kill someone. Number 5 didn't know who that person was, but he did know that for all the team members of the spaceship, that person is like an intruder who has come to kill them. The next day number 5 told number 6 about his dream. And now she didn't want to tell everyone else about it. Because if she did, then maybe everyone else would have started panicking and number 2 and no. 4 would have been the most suspicious. Well, in the meantime, we see the android outside, who suddenly faints. And when the team members run to him, they get a flag of the Galactic Authority in the hands of the android. Galactic Authority people used to treat the people of Raza as criminals, and they were after catching them for a long time. And if the flag of the Galactic Authority was found in the hands of the android, then it was clear that some people of the Galactic Authority had come inside the ship. After knowing this, everyone starts looking for those soldiers in the ship, but they don't find anyone there. The Galactic Authority wanted to attack secretly, and this was really very dangerous. Then number 5 tells everyone about that intruder who was going to kill no. 2 and number 4. Now that person, because only one of them could have been, so everyone stops trusting each other. And in the meantime, we see that suddenly No. 4 faints. Someone had made him unconscious, which was really very strange. Now the other 5 people were also starting to panic a lot, and they started trying to find those soldiers in the ship as soon as possible. And as happened with number 4, the same thing happens with number 6, which after seeing the other 4 was totally crazy. Then the remaining rest of the members gunpoint each other because number 1 had a problem with number 3 because No. 3 had killed his wife. Number 3 had also gunpoint No. 1 and at the same time number 2 gunpoints number 1 because No. 1 had not come there with his original face but with someone else's face. Number 5 had just gunpoint No. 2 because he felt that when number 2 was in the lab, someone had teased him with his mind. Now they are trying to blame each other for the current scenario that at that time all those people are made unconscious by a smoke bomb. A ship of the Galactic Authority had come near their ship and they had come to catch all the people present in the ship. That means whoever was the intruder in their team was a person of the Galactic Authority, not of any other organization. After a while, we see that all the people who had become unconscious were taking them to the soldiers, but only No. 6 was going normally with them. And it was clear that number 6 was the intruder who had come to those people so that he could get them caught. And it could also mean that number 6 had helped these people from the beginning till now so that they would start trusting him blindly. And because now all these criminals had been caught, who were criminals in the eyes of the government, and they had done wrong things for any personal reason, the people of the Galactic Authority catch them and take them away. With this series also ends here. So I hope you liked the explanation. If you liked the explanation, then subscribe to the channel and leave the bell notification on all and like the video. I will keep bringing such more interesting explanation videos. Anyway, for now, tada and goodbye.